Hi, 8th graders. My name is Mrs. Manganello, and I am here to tell you more about our summer reading program at South Brunswick High School. I can't wait to meet you and welcome you in the fall, but until then, here's my preview. So on the page that I'm on, which is on our library homepage, and you can access that from the high school homepage or from the link provided by your teacher. You can see that up at the top of my screen. You will find this page, and on this page we give you a little background about our summer reading project. So while we don't have a written assignment for 9th graders, we would like you to come back prepared to share something that you've read over the summer that you really connected with and that you could share with both your teachers and your classmates. So in the fall, you will either be in English 1, Academic English, or Honors English, but regardless of which English you're in, that assignment stays the same, and the book choices can be as varied as you are. So we're going to give you some ideas and some suggestions. If your parents have specific questions about the summer reading program, they can absolutely click on the link here to hear more about our summer reading program and the details. You also have some help. So there's two ways that you can read over the summer. First of all, the library, our library, SBHS library, will be open for student checkout, and that includes you, our newest students. Please check back for the exact dates as it gets a little bit later into June. And those dates are normally Wednesdays, and they're usually from 10 to 12. So that just gives you an idea of when we'll be open. It's normally once a week. We also have all of our Mac and Via books available to you over the summer, and you'll see that collection by clicking on this link. You can watch a little tutorial, and many of you know Mac and Via because you've been using it at the middle school. So that includes both e and audio books, and they're accessible to you all summer long from your smartphone or from your computer. Now, in addition to the little tours that we are currently on and the resources that I've already shared, we also have at the bottom of our page 3 different categories. We have reading recommendations, sharing your selections, and joining the journey. Now, each of these is a part of our journey as readers because we want to make sure we build a community of readers. So we start off by sharing recommendations with you. So I'm going to give you a preview of that. So first thing you can do is you can follow me. You can follow me on Goodreads, you can follow me on Instagram, and in both cases you will get recommendations for what I'm currently reading. For example, I just finished Rain and Delilah's Midnight Matinee by Jeff Zentner, which was fantastic. If you want a great story about a group of girls who have decided to make a public access TV show, one badly wants to be on TV and become famous. The other one is just looking for a way to connect with the father that she doesn't remember. This is a great book. It will in turns make you laugh out loud and make you kind of choke up at the same time. So if you like a book like that, this might make a great choice. You can see I recommend and I give you some stars. So if you are the sort of person that likes to hear what other people are reading, this is a great way to connect with me. Now, in addition to that, we have 3 different categories for our book recommendations for summer reading. We have fiction, those great stories that you connect with, classics, things that are going to challenge you because maybe of the language or of the level of scholarship that they're written with. And then you have nonfiction books. Nonfiction books could be memoirs, they could be informative, they could be history, they could be many different things. We're going to give you some choices of each. So first one up, we'll start with fiction because a lot of people in the summertime feel like fiction is their way to go. Now you'll notice for each book, I give you the book cover because I know, never judge a book by a cover, but we all do. So the book cover, the title and author, along with a short explanation of what this book is all about and what you can expect. So by reading through these, you're going to get an idea of what kinds of books I'm recommending for you. First couple are by Elizabeth Acevedo, so if you've read The Poet X, which is fantastic, you might try Clap When You Land or Fire on High. There's some great, we have all different genres represented here. So we have fantasies like Children of Blood and Bone, which is a great world builder. If you like a book that has to build you a world for the characters to live in, that might make a great choice. Oh, Swing by Kwame Alexander. If you've read Rebound or if you've read Booked, Kwame Alexander's Swing, oh, it's so good. It's about Walt and Noah, and Walt and Noah are best friends. They're also terrible baseball players, and they keep repeatedly trying to make the baseball team. One of them is about ready to give up. The other one has doubled down, and he is going to make the team by hook or by crook. What he realizes throughout the course of this book is there's a lot more to life than just baseball. But there's a cliffhanger in this one, and you will hate the ending. So if you are ready for that, try Swing by Kwame Alexander as your summer reading choice. It's a novel in verse, so it reads really fast. We have graphic novels. So graphic novels make my list, absolutely. A graphic novel is a book that's told with both words and pictures. Now, Laurie Halse Anderson's novel, Speak, is a great novel. The graphic novel is even more engaging to many readers because it adds that layer of pictures on top of what is a really moving story. So there are some graphic novels on this list. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, we have movies like Ready Player One. Don't discount this book just because you saw the movie already. I can tell you that Wade Watts looks 100% better when he's in the pages of the book, even though I love the Steven Spielberg movie. So you could definitely choose one of those. You can see lots of popular favorites like Hunger Games. If you like a sports book, Deadline is fantastic. Deadline is the story of a boy named Ben, and Ben goes for his senior year sports physical only to find out that he has a fatal disease. He tells no one, and he decides instead to live his best year ever. But living his best year ever might look differently once his family and friends start to realize what's happening with Ben. We have Eye of Minds by James Dashner, who also wrote Maze Runner. So if you saw the movie or if you like that format, that's a great one. We have, oh, What Happened to Cass McBride? This is a quick book, and it reads really quickly because the characters take turns telling the story. We start off with Kyle. Kyle, we meet him, and when he is handcuffed to a police examination table because they are trying to get him to tell them what happened to Cass McBride. Kyle knows where Cass is. Cass has been buried alive, but Kyle's not speaking. And if Kyle's not speaking, Cass doesn't have long for this world. Now, does she deserve what she got? Possibly. But you have to find out for yourself by reading this great mystery. I have books that are funny, like Fat Kid Rules the World. I have sad books like The Fault in Our Stars and other John Greens that are alternating between funny and classic and just really, really good reads. Great characters. I have adventure stories like Far North, which is centered on a plane crash. And the plane, of course, like every good plane crash, crashes in the wrong spot. And as a result, no one is looking for the passengers, and they have to survive in the wilderness. Oh, Truly Devious. If you like a serial killer, if you like a good detective, try Stevie Bell. Stevie is fascinated by true crimes and unsolved cases. She transfers to Ellingham Academy, this elite high school that only admits a select group of students who have a specific project in mind. Stevie's project is she's going to solve the Truly Devious case. The Truly Devious case actually happened at Ellingham Academy decades before, but it was never solved. But when she gets close to finding out who Truly Devious was, she realizes that her friends are now in danger. Now, warning about this book. If you read this, when you get to the end, it cliffhangs and you're going to want the next one immediately. Let's see. I've got a little Stephen King. I've got Olatsui, if you like a fantasy book that transfers our America into an America where magic and fantasy actually exist. This is a great one. The author, Darcy Littlebadger, is actually Lipan Apache, and her character is as well. So all of the Native American myths that Darcy grew up with as a child are in this book, but they're not myths at all. They're actually true facts and historical pieces of information, unlike our society. So it's a really good one. We've got, I'm going to scroll a little more. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to go back to classics so we can take another look. You can see I've got lots on this list. Blade So Black is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland, but this time Wonderland is the boundary between our world and the world where the nightmares live. Alice is the vigilante that protects us. So if you think that might be the kind of book you could get into this summer, that's a great choice. All right, in addition to fiction, we've got classics. And classics are a great thing to sink your teeth into over the summer if you are interested in upping your game in high school. If you want to be a reader and you want to really find a book that you can both connect with and kind of pick apart, classic choice might be a great choice. We've got everything from Pride and Prejudice, Wuthering Heights, all of the things that are referred to in our curriculum, but we don't necessarily read as a whole. So if you're thinking, I would really like to take the time to kind of sit with one of these books over the summer and really connect with it, this might make a great choice for you. My favorite on this list, and there are a lot of good ones, and I actually have a lot of favorites on this list, but my favorite one is Tree Grows in Brooklyn. The Romley women, the author describes as made of thin and visible steel. And I love that quote because I think it really captures how these women, they have so much adversity and there's so much conflict in this novel, and somehow they still manage to rise above it in this beautiful way. So if you think A Tree Grows in Brooklyn might be a good choice for you, try that this summer. Now, in addition to classics and our fiction sections, we also have nonfiction. If you haven't tried nonfiction before, or if you're just not a fiction person, you don't like to read stories, nonfiction is a great genre to explore. And we've got everything from true crime to history. This is the hunt for Adolf Eichmann, who was the head of the Auschwitz Holocaust camp in World War II. This is how they hunted him down once he had escaped from Germany. Really interesting tale. We have memoirs like Laughing at My Nightmare, the story of Shane Burkaw and his life with spinal muscular atrophy and what that means for him. And that is hysterically funny, but also irreverent, so know that it's coming. Notorious RBG, the story of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This is nice because it's not there are many biographies of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but this one is a very approachable one. It has illustrations, it has primary sources kind of all embedded into it, so it makes for a really great read. I found her book inspiring. We've got, I'll do one more. Oh, the family Romanov. Again, another history. This is Tsar Nicholas II and the Romanov clan who were assassinated. You will find yourself feeling very sorry for them and then suddenly not so sorry in this retelling of what happened and why. So all of these great choices that you might want to consider. In addition to this, and I mentioned at the beginning, at the bottom of each of these pages, you're going to find, in addition to reading recommendations, sharing selections and joining the journey. Now, sharing selections is a variety of ways that you can add to this list. So we have a Padlet, and you are welcome to come in and add your favorite books to this Padlet. One of my best favorite ways to read something new is for somebody to recommend it for me. So if you think you might like to recommend something for me to read, I absolutely look at all of these before I post them. So feel free to add your favorite book to this list. In addition, if you are the kind of person that likes to record and you want to do a Flipgrid, I have a Flipgrid here. We will be glad for the Flipgrid contributions, and you could do that as well. In our last section, Joining the Journey, is going to be growing this summer. So right now it includes links for the public library, and our public library is such a resource for our community. So if you can't get to the high school library during the summer, try the public library. It is fantastic. And I will have links to their summer reading program and their summer reading events, as well as other local events that might be of interest to our readers. So everything from authors coming to the Barnes & Noble in Lawrenceville to local speaking events, or even Zoom events with favorite authors. They're all going to be posted here. So even if you aren't sure what you want to read this summer, hopefully I've given you some ideas. We are really committed to the idea of a reading culture at the high school. We want you to see yourselves as readers. So I hope my recommendations have given you a little taste of what it might be like to be a reader, and that you are excited to come and visit us and learn more. Can't wait to meet you in the fall. Have a great summer.